Hello and welcome to day 15 of my first documentary. Today I've just kind of had this light bulb moment, not necessarily an epiphany, but just this decision-making moment. I've been reading into the whole grant writing thing, and I think those are interesting, and I think that might be something I do in the future, but for this project, I don't think I am, because all of the different grants that you look into, for one thing, they all want creative control over what you do, and I don't want to give away creative control over what I do. So I've set that to the side for the moment. I think looking into the grant writing and putting everything into it that you would need to make a good proposal was taking away from actually creating the film. I couldn't do both. I can create a documentary or I can pitch to get money for it. I really, that's gonna have to fit into my life a different way. For this project right now, it's all about getting the documentary made, right? That's what we decided at the beginning. We want to make the movies. So since it was going to have to be a choice between either am I a film grant writer or am I a documentary filmmaker, I'm going to just focus on making the documentaries. So we decided to say no to that for now. And I also decided that I'm going to start with the interviews. I figure the film that I have in mind in my head is interview based, and it's basically me going and talking with experts about this and helping facilitate an exploration of 16th century fencing and how that fit into theater and where it intersected with Shakespeare's life. And that would definitely be something I would put together on the podcast, which is why I missaid that a second ago. I feel like interviewing people and talking with people and getting them to tell me their story is really where my strengths are. And so that's where I want to begin, because I think if I don't have the interviews, then I don't really have the most important part of what I'm trying to do. So I figure instead of trying to write out the whole narration like a book, the whole story like a book, what I'm going to do is write up the questions the same way I would if I were preparing for a podcast interview. I'm going to divide the whole story up into 4 pieces, 4 topics. And if you'll remember back, I forget what day it was, but I have that list already decided of there's 4 sections of this story that I want to tell. And I'm going to basically write the questions up and then find a guest that's willing to speak with me on camera about that and talk to me about it. And we're going to film me talking to them about it. And that's going to form the foundation of the documentary. And then I'm going to build the narration and the photos and the story around the interviews that we're doing. I think the theme at this point is we want this film to be done. We're choosing done over perfect. We want it to be well done. We're going to try and do a good job, but we're not going to sweat it if what we would like to have is more expensive or more trouble than we're willing to spend on it right now. You know, those are things we might do later. They're good things. We could make, you know, a $600 million blockbuster film one day, but right now we're trying to make this movie with what we have at the moment. That's the goal. So I did look into doing more on-site history interviews. If you follow me on YouTube, I've done a few of those and I really liked them, but I hadn't started looking at them as mini documentaries until I came across Bob Krist. If you don't know about him, please check into him. I'll send links out to just the massive amount of stuff that he has available on teaching travel photography. But for like the past, I don't know, 5-10 years, he's done travel videography for National Geographic, or he's worked for National Geographic for decades. But anyway, he's very good at what he does, and I've been following his videos, and I just realized that when I'm telling the story of how to play the hurdy-gurdy and putting that together as a YouTube video, that's my opportunity to make a mini documentary and to practice documentary filmmaking skills while helping build my platform. I don't have to wait on anything. I can put that out there just like that and practice, you know, making documentaries. And so every video that I put out can be a little mini documentary if I want it to be. So I'm looking into how I can bring more of that into my platform. So that was a lot, but that's day 15. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.